and all of that. Actually comes from Syngenta. We had a great event a couple of days ago where Syngenta as data analysts, and people are seeing the benefits. People, they're not quite there. I mean, they are doing AI for AI's sake, but that's because that's what their customers want, but not quite seeing the results of that. Nevertheless, as So what we do in IISc is actually emphasize a lot more on the soft skills. And we do have a refresher type of thing where we actually, towards the later part, we try to make sure that you've not forgotten the fundamentals and all that. And there is actually a one-on-one session. So Lalit will probably go into the details of that, which is highly valued by everybody that's going through our training programs. A one-on-one session where you're mimicking the actual interview environment, right? So we are actually preparing you for real interviews. And we got very good feedback from our students about that. So I'll hand it over to Lalit, and I think Captain Lalit has a few things to say about the specifics of the program.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so objective of this interaction is basically to present our vision, our objectives, what we set for ourselves in IISc, and then to share some data with you regarding the placements which have happened in last couple of years, and to give you the progress which has been made by the IISc. So as we know, this course started in 2021, and 2023 was the year when our students, they started passing out from diploma. And when they pass out from diploma, so they became employable. And with that background, IISc was set up for the IIT Madras BS program. We are based in ICSR with the core team at on the third floor. So from 2023 onwards, we started doing outreach to the industry, conveying. So as it was a new program from IIT Madras, so first objective was to tell the industry that there is such kind of program in IIT Madras, and this is the content. So we started doing outreach. So there was, you can appreciate that, it took us some time to give visibility, and still we do the same. So as I speak now, 24/7, we keep on doing outreach. We keep on telling the industry that this is the program, and it is a hybrid program, and it has got a real world projects. So that is one thing what we do. We bring the opportunities from the industry for the internships, for the full-time opportunities also. And of late, in last couple of years, what I've noticed that now a new trend has started. It is internship followed by PPO. So majority of the companies, they hire the interns and then they give PPO on basis of your performance. That is one trend. The numbers have been encouraging in IISc. In last 1 year, we have been able to place around 500 students. And our students, they have got PPOs also. The average salary in 2026, I will be showing you the data.
A little bit of a challenge getting it on for the people that are on live stream. Yeah.
Of course. Okay. So like I mentioned earlier, IISc was set up in 2023 once our students, they started passing out from diploma. So the vision which we set for ourselves was first to bridge the gap between academic learning and industry expectations. And like Professor Balaji was saying, that now in the industrial requirements are changing rapidly with the invent of AI. So what do we try to do in IISc? That we try to connect with the industry and to know the current industrial requirement, so that we can connect with our academic team and we can make changes in our programs. So you might have seen in last 1 year, we have introduced some programs which give real hands-on, experience, like the courses like MLOps, We have made changes to our TDS course, if you have done that. Okay. So we are continuously uh, changing our program also as per the industrial requirement. So that feedback we get from the industry by regular interaction with them in the form of hackathons, by visiting them on site, by getting the feedback from our students. So they also give us feedback that, sir, we had those skills after doing the program, but here now these are the skills which are needed. The second is to empower students of the BS program with practical and career-oriented exposure. What I mean by that once you register with us, so we have got a training program. It is level 1, level 2, and level 3. And like Professor emphasized that we put a lot of emphasis on your soft skills in level 1. And then we also have activity points. So what we do, we force you to revise your concepts, because the concepts which you learned during your stats 2, DBMS, MAD 1, MAD 2, MLP, so all those things are required. But many of us, when we are at degree level, we tend to forget those concepts. So we force the students to do that. And the third is to ensure fair and professional placement support for eligible learners. It means transparent processes and which reflect that there are no biases in our processes. So this vision we have converted to our mission, which is to facilitate internship and placement opportunities by building strong industry connections. So I would like to cover here that in last 1 year, we have made MOUs with two major companies, both are MNCs, and we have built a pipeline through which those two companies, including Syngenta, they are hiring from us. And we had a hackathon just 2 days back for the same purpose. We also have a mission to promote a structured training ecosystem from orientation to post-training support. Already I've explained that. To motivate students to maintain active profiles for better job matching. So in that, what do? We regularly interact with the students who are registered with IISc to keep on emphasizing all these points. That please keep on revising your concepts, keep on updating your resume, keep on building projects in GitHub, participate in Kaggle competitions, learn from other projects. To foster a culture of discipline, responsibility, and professionalism during placement by transparent processes. And last, not the least, is to ensure transparent and ethical placement processes aligned with the student career goals. Now, with this shown on the screen is the hiring trend or the placement data from IISc. So as you can see, we have made a good leap of progress from where we started in 2023 and where we are currently now. And this data is still 30th of April 2026. Okay. So I want to cover another thing that this data is for the placed students data. But we have been getting opportunities, I will say 3 times more than this. It means there is no dearth of opportunities. If you have got skill sets, then we can increase these numbers. So there is enough scope available. We are getting enough opportunities from good companies, from MNCs, from startups. So there are no dearth. So this I want to emphasize to all of you. You bring the skill sets, you enhance your skill sets, the opportunities are there. So in last cycle, we almost touched a figure of around 200. For this year, 2026, we have made an objective for ourselves that we will try to reach 1,000 for 2026. That is a target which we have kept for ourselves. Shown on the screen are the total opportunities by type. So we can see the majority of the opportunities have been internship, around 640. Full time, we have been able to place around 70 of the students. And like I mentioned earlier, that the new trend, internship followed by PPO, we have been able to place around 86 students. I would like to share with all of you that this internship plus PPO, the route which is there, and it is the latest trend, our 90% of our students who have gone, they have got the PPOs. So it is not that it is internship only. Based on your performance and based on the performance of our students, they have converted it to PPO. Now you can see the opportunities by type and yearly data also. So as you can see for 2026, we have completed only one quarter till now, but almost we have reached 173 internships. For full time, around 15 and 50 internship followed by PPO. So that figure for the last year, we have already crossed and we are on the right track. Here you can see the different opportunities cycle wise. So in the last cycle, we had around 146 internships. The full-time figure came down little bit, 13, but we are on the right track for the internship plus PPO. These are the top hiring companies by student selections. So on the top is our Brain Center. I would like to share with all of you that some amazing and niche research is happening in our Brain Center. And the kind of skills which our students are learning, whether it is in Vision or it is a database management system, those are the skills which are needed by the industry. So I'm very confident that our students who have done the internships here or are doing the internships, they will get opportunities outside. Then we have got the second company, SciStar. It is also IIT Madras incubated company. They are doing some amazing work in cybersecurity using quantum technology. So there are a lot of senior industry professionals, those who are associated with this project. And again, I'm confident that our students will learn a lot. And through this, they will get excellent opportunities outside. We have got Syngenta, it is a MNC, Switzerland-based. We have got Annam.ai, KPI partners. So these are the companies where our students are placed. So I want to dispel this, perception, because many times in the WhatsApp groups, I read that only the small startups are there. No, we have got well-established companies with whom we have got the pipelines. You build your skill sets, you apply for those opportunities, and then everything belongs to you. What you want to do?
Maybe I'll just make a quick note on that. This talk about small companies and big companies and all that. So what's happening in the US right now is there is a lot of moderation in terms of the headcount that's happening there. They're actually repurposing their headcount right now because they're going through the AI transformation that I talked about before. But part of what's also happening is they're not able to maintain a large headcount in the US. So they are actually, offshoring a lot of work. They're giving the work to smaller companies. You heard the word gig economy. What does that mean? It's essentially all these big companies, they are outsourcing their jobs to smaller companies. So you may actually think of certain names as, oh, I've never heard of this company before. Dom Ventas, for example, right? So you never heard of that company, but the company is actually doing something, very, very important for some of these bigger companies. So you need to not go by the name of the company, but more by the opportunity that it provides in terms of the skill sets that you are going to be able to develop, and whether those are the latest tools that they are actually allowing you to use and all of that, right? So it's more on that aspect rather than the name of the company.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Now on the screen is shown that how many times that company has come back to us. So what it reflects that due to the performance of our students in these companies are coming back to us again and again. And it is just due to the fact that our students, they have been doing remarkably well there. And due to their performance, the companies, they are trusting us. Now is the data flashed, opportunities trends by CGPA. So you can see that even if you have got CGPA, which you feel that it is less, still the opportunities are there. So if you register with IISc, go through the training program, build those skills, there are opportunities for everyone. Okay, I will share with all of you. Recently, just 2 days back, one of our student has got placed, a fresher, and he has got the highest package, 27 LPA. I will not name the company, and his or her CGPA was just 6.4. Okay, so you should not get disheartened that if your CGPA you have not been able to maintain, but you have to build the skills. You might have lost that bus when the bus arrived to have the decent CGPA, but now still the time is there. Go back to basics, prepare your notes, understand those concepts, and still you can make it. These are the opportunities by CGPA bracket and type. So you can see in all the brackets, we are having opportunities. These are the figures for the compensation. So till now, for a full-time role, so this data is of 3 days back. The highest that time was 22 LPA. So as I speak now, the highest we have got 27 LPA. And the average and median figures are also there. For internship, highest till now has been around 83,000, and median and average somewhere in the figure of around 21,000. The third is the bracket for the internship followed by PPO. Highest has been 40,000, and median and average both around 25,000. From IIC side, what do we do when we interact with the companies? We always say that for internship, please give 30K if it is a metro city, because we understand that, our student has to go, he has to stay there. So for the cities like Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, we always insist for 30K minimum. These are the average annual CTC by year. So around 11 lakh 30,000 is the average. So for 2026, so we can see that for 2026, we have been able to make a progress. We have been able to increase the average figure for the full-time role. This is the data for 2026. So what do we do in IIC? Every year we analyze, not every year, in fact, after every cycle, that were we able to include more recruiters? So that we do. Were we able to retain the recruiters? So, and then we do the analysis for cycle also, for the year also. So for 2026 till April 2026, shown is the data for the full time. So ever one of our student got placed at 22 LPA. So, and these are the figures. So you can see we have got 18 LPA also, 16 LPA, 15 LPA, 12 LPA. So those opportunities, they came and we availed. These are for the internships. So starting from 60,000 going till 20,000. One of our student trained or registered with IIC, I would like to share with all of you. She got placed in Google. Okay, recently, 2 months back, she got trained in Google, placed in Google. Here we did some analysis for hidden gems. Hidden gems means that those students, they didn't have decent CGPA, but they got placed in the 25 percentile in the placement bracket, just to again give you confidence that, if you have missed out on your CGPA, it doesn't matter. These are the live examples. Those, who completed the training, who enhanced their skill sets, and they got in top 25 percentile, jobs. So you can see. Okay. So that was the data. Last slide is please don't carry the names due to the students' privacy. I just wanted to share with all of you, just to give you the confidence, because many of us, many times we get disheartened that my CGPA is less than 7. Will I get a job or not? You'll get a job. If you put in effort, you'll get a decent job. I will share now certain feedback from the industry. As we are in continuous touch with the industry, we receive the feedback after your interview processes also about from the students working. So one of the major feedback has been communication. Like many companies, they say that the responses during interviews have been verbose, they lack clarity and structure. And with that feedback, we have got our level 1 training in IIC. So where we have got 4 parts in that. Our English team of IIT Madras, they help us in that. So we have got presentation skills, that test is there. Then we have got listen and speak, listen and write to basically train you and to give you confidence. So that when you face a real interview, I will accept with all of you that, English is not our native language for all of us. All of us, we struggle. So as I speak now, I also struggled when I was at your stage. But we have to make consistent efforts. Okay. Keep, like in my days, we were taught, read Hindu newspaper. If you want to build good vocabulary, then we didn't have these mobile devices those days. If I had this mobile device, I could use this mobile device to record and listen to myself to make improvement. So you have got these tools. Okay, utilize those tools. In our days, we were told that go in front of mirror, speak to yourself, and then you'll come to know. But now you have got tools. So this communication, like professor also emphasized, technical skills are 30 to 40%. Other skills are your people skills, which involve communication, presentation, how do you carry yourself, confidence, how do you answer. Okay, so this we have got a structured training program, but you have to put in effort. The second is resume alignment. The companies, they have realized that, many of you, you write a lot of things in your resume, but when you're asked, you're not able to explain. So from my side, advice is that whatever you are writing, a single word you are writing, you should be able to explain. If you are not confident of some project which you did and you are not confident of answering certain framework, then don't write it on your resume. Because if you have got some project, they will ask you the question. If you write that I built a ticket system in my Mat 2, I built this app. So immediately he will ask you, okay, which framework did you use for backend? You will say Flask. He will ask, okay, tell me the security features of the Flask. And if you draw blank, you're gone. So whatever you're writing, you should be thorough with that. Okay, that is the thing. Third thing in the resume is that as you keep on building, for example, you are building some projects in GitHub, you're participating in Kaggle competitions. So now keep on updating your resume. Resume is a live document. Resume is not a static thing. You should update it every 2 weeks. So whatever thing which you are not confident, remove it. Whatever you have learned new skills, you might have learned, for example, Fast API. So right there, I built this project with Fast API. So keep on updating your resume, because resume is the first filter from where, I receive a lot of emails from all of you that, sir, I have been applying so many times, but I have not been called. So what happened? Because your resume, which was there, we just forward the resume. Now company reads your resume. Now they have got AI tools. So that AI tool, what it does, it aligns the resume with the JD. So if there is a similarity check, all of us, we have learned those skills at degree level, cosine similarity, this similarity. So if the similarity is not there, they will not call you. So we have to update our resume. Projects already are covered. Keep on doing projects. As a data science student, I will share with you, I'm still a student. Okay, I'm pursuing my MTech. I have made a habit for myself. Every month, I do one GitHub project. And I participate in Kaggle competitions. That I have made a, then only I come to know what is happening, what is latest. Otherwise, my knowledge base will be 3 years old when I did my Mat 2. So if I don't do that, if I don't learn the new frameworks, so recently I learned Fast API, because the Fast API, 90% industry is using Fast API. So if we want to call ourselves as software developers or data scientists or machine learning enthusiasts, then we have to keep on updating. And it is applicable in IT. In IT, the things change very rapidly. If you don't keep pace, then you're gone. You keep on hearing in the podcasts and reading in the newspapers that there are so many layoffs happening. So layoffs are not happening for you. Layoffs are happening for the employees who couldn't keep them abreast with the latest skills. So same goes for you. Fundamentals. I was discussing with someone today in the morning that, I also used to have my doubts when I joined this program during the foundation level, that why I am being taught this probability, why I'm being taught this, maths too. But when I reached degree level and when I started advanced topics like deep learning and all that, then I realized that, I could not have understood back propagation if I was not taught this. So though you might have missed the bus, again, I will say, but go back to basics. Again, understand what is that chi-square distribution? What is that Poisson distribution? How I will use it? Because in the real world, the data scientist, when he sees the data, only the data is given to him. The first thing is to know the data, from where it is coming. So if I have missed out on those fundamentals, I still have time. I can have a notebook. I can start preparing my notes, which will help me before going my interview. Okay.
That's what we emphasize in the activity points. We emphasize a lot of this, actually, just going back to your fundamentals. Make sure you are thorough with that before you go to the employer's interview.
Okay, depth versus breadth already I have covered. Go in depth, understand everything. If there is something which you are missing out, remove it from your resume. Readiness. Readiness is a very, very important part. It needs more practice in problem solving and articulation. We have shared a GitHub I built for the IC registered students. So I have shared around 1,200 questions from different domains. So practice from that. See, during 101 sessions, I realized that many of the students, they knew the answers, but they didn't give straight answers. They used to skirt. So that will frustrate an interview. If I'm interviewing you and if I tell you, what is your name? And you tell me, sir, I was born in Delhi. And if you answer like that 3 times, already I'm angry that I might not reflect. So if a question is asked, your answer should be straight, crisp, clear, professional. And that will happen only when you practice. When you know, okay, what is a statistical definition of an outlier? Then you should give very, very articulate answer. That's a statistical definition is that any data point which is below 1.5 into IQR and above 1.5 into IQR, I'm so happy. But if you tell me, sir, any point which is very abnormal, it is called an outlier. What is the meaning of abnormality? Okay. So I'm just giving you an example. So that also will happen when you practice. So you have to practice. We have given you the resources. Another thing I want to share with all of you that all of us, including me, we use AI tools. Okay. But when you are using AI tool, the answer which is coming, please use that AI tool as an assistant. Then understand each and everything. Write your comments. If this solution, if this code has been given to me and there is a route here written post, then what is the meaning of this? Okay. Similarly, when you're doing your IIC training, like I said, we force you to revise your concepts. I know you are using AI tools, but again, the IIC training is not a checkbox. It is to build your skills. And if you have not done that, then you have done, injustice to yourself, not to us. Because everything is for you to enhance your probability of getting hired. So those activities which are there, please do them sincerely. At least understand each and everything, whatever you're doing. Recommended practices from our side with the feedback from the industry and interactions with all of you. One is that register with IIC and complete the training sincerely. Knowing the processes in last 2 cycles, I can confidently say that you can easily complete the training in 45 days. If you follow a disciplined regime and even you give 1 to 2 hours every day, then easily this training can be completed. And once your training gets completed, you become eligible to apply through IIC. After that, once you become eligible, apply actively. Then don't wait for opportunities. That sir mentioned there was a 27 LPA, so I will wait for the 27 LPA. That might not come. Okay. So whenever you feel that some opportunity has come, it is aligning with your skill sets, please apply. Update your resume that I have mentioned earlier, maintain GitHub, diversify projects. So whatever we have learned in MAD 1, MAD 2, software engineering project for the software development side, For the data science side, we just do one MLP project that also in classification only. So now you have to diversify. So I have to understand regression also. So I have to do one regression project also. Okay, then I will do one time series data. I will do some stock analysis. So when you will keep on doing this, then you yourself will feel confident. Then you can answer, because with one classification model, you cannot go out in the world. They'll not select you. Okay. So you have to keep on building the projects. From the theoretical side, from the program side, we introduce you to the topic. After that, it depends on us how much I want to take it ahead. And the students who have done that, you have seen the data, they have got placed 27 LPA, 22 LPA, 18 LPA, 16 LPA, lot many in 12 LPA. So those who are doing that, they are getting those opportunities. Complete training, already I covered that. Track submissions. So in the training, what is there? In the activity point, there is a master document. It is again a live document. As you finish that activity, you can keep on updating. And we have built a dashboard also now for all of you. Now you can see your progress through that dashboard. So once you, for example, you have done system commands, you have solved some HackerRank questions, you have done Java badges. So take a screenshot, convert to PDF, immediately submit to us. So we also know that you are making a progress. That gives us confidence. So in ISC, we monitor your progress. So we know who's that student who did everything in 3 days. So then I don't trust that guy. I don't have confidence in him. Because in 3 days, if he's doing, then it means he's using AI tools. I will like a student who maintains a disciplined approach. Every week he's submitting. On that student, I'll have a lot of confidence that he's the guy, disciplined, he's acquiring all the skills.
I mean, it's a divided jury out there. There are companies which say that you use whatever tools you want, and they want to track that also. See if people are understanding what tools are there, which one to use for what, and all of that. So, when you approach one of these opportunities, you'll have to check with the employer whether this is allowed or this is not allowed. So what we do at IISc is to be a little more conservative, say that, let's not use any tools. Let's see what you know from what you learned, right? That's what we emphasize. But then, yeah, there are certain companies which say use whatever tools you want.
Last point is be offer ready. It is a very, very important part that if you have applied for some opportunity, then always be mentally ready that if I get selected, then I will join. Applying and then saying no, it is a very negative trait, I'm telling you. And if you do this early in your career, maybe 2 to 3 times, your corporate career is finished. Because whatever you did today, that can be tracked after 12 years also. Because this in corporate, in IT sector, my better half, she has been in IT for last 25, 26 years. When you switching in IT is very common, that you go join a company, work for 3 to 4 years, and then you switch because it gives you, pay upgrade also, minimum 30%. But when they do the upgrade, the next company carries out a background check. So many of you, all the freshers, you are not aware about that. And that background check is outsourced to companies which are outside. And their job is to find everything about you. So during that background check, if it is found that, that one offer letter was given to this person and he didn't accept. And if it happened 2 to 3 times, very negatively. Second thing, if they find out that you joined a company and you left just after 6 months, 8 months, again, a very negative trait. It speaks about your integrity. So don't do anything now, due to ignorance, which affects your career after 9 years or in your next switch. So follow standard practices. One, if you apply, you get selected, please join it. Number 1. Number 2, the JD was shared with you. Never negotiate with the company directly. If you want to negotiate through IISc. The companies, they don't encourage you directly dealing with them, because if something is happening through IISc, You have got some, first of all, when you applied, you accepted that JD. The JD was clearly mentioning that it is on site and this is the package. Now, if you say, no, I will not join, so then it is not acceptable. You want to convey something, because why I'm sharing this, because we have observed this in IIC. And then we scramble to, retrieve the situation. We speak to those guys, but then they say, it speaks, all of you represent our program. When you go to one company, you will be representing the entire BS program. How you perform, the company will think the BS program is like that. So see, one small things, it can deteriorate our relationships with the companies. So we can give you professional advices. Okay, we come, all of us in IIC, we have been in real world. My both associates, they have been in corporate. So we bring that rich experience to guide you, to tell you that these are the standard practices. Okay, how to, if you're facing any difficulty, we help you. We work 24/7. Okay, but the numbers are so huge. I will confess that many times you might feel that, my email was not answered. It will be answered, but take some time because we are just 4. Okay, and we have got thousands of students with the common queries. Utilize the discourses, utilize the WhatsApps, utilize the GSpace. We have given enough avenues. Okay, you can call us. My number is available to all of you. You can send me a WhatsApp message. You can call me. Okay. So with that, I have finished. We have shared, the data with you, and to tell you that there are enough opportunities. There are enough opportunities for people with less CGPA also. Only thing which is required is from your side is sincerity to enhance your skills. I'll be very blunt in saying that, the tag of IIT Madras will not get you a job. Even Harvard does not assure that. Okay. It is the skills. When you say I'm from IIT Madras BS program, it conveys that yes, they are being taught from IIT Madras. So definitely they will be having these skills. And we have to maintain that confidence. And once we do, automatically the doors will open. Okay, so that I'm urging all of you, please, we are the ambassadors of this program. How we carry ourselves, how we conduct ourselves, that how this program will be shaped. Okay, thank you so much. Now we are ready to answer anything.
I just make a request. We have a couple of industry professionals here. If you can actually come in and talk about, just say a few words about what you feel about this content, whether you agree with what you have heard so far and all. Can you just... Just a minute or so.
Thank you so much. Is it okay if I please? So good morning, guys. Wow, the classroom. Okay, you need me on camera also. Okay. And then have a seat, have a seat. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry. I'm fine. Thank you. I'll not take long. So firstly, it is so nice to see you guys here, right? You're here for a limited time on campus. There are friends and activities going on. So you came here because you're serious about your career. You wanted to know what should we do, what shouldn't we do, how do we move forward? And I went through the same anxiety when I was younger. It's quite common. Okay. So if you're anxious, that is not a sign of weakness. That is a sign that you are trying to prep yourself better. So that's good. We see that on your face when we meet you for interviews. Okay. All right. I love telling you, all the students I meet, first thing when we, all right. So people ask us, what should I do in the interview? How do I fix my resume? A lot of these points are valid. Not all of them are valid, and some are truer than the others. I'll tell you why. We ask you that imagine that you have, God forbid, that there's a medical emergency and you go to a doctor, right? What we're looking at the doctors is, does that doctor, he or she have the skills to understand what you're telling them, diagnose your problem, and then prescribe a way forward to treatment. We do not ask them from which college they are, right? Is it booming? Is it the fan? Fan. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. All right, just. No, I'll cover it. Hang on. I'll cover it. Yeah. Okay. So you don't talk to this doctor, have a discussion. This which college you're from, what was your CGPA, show me your resume. Right? And the doctor doesn't introduce us, I'm Dr. So and so. I have studied this course and I got an A in it. I've done this course, I've done this project. No, they don't tell you that. The confidence level of the doctor, the way they speak to you, you understand, don't you? Same thing with us when we meet you. If you're going to give us a laundry list that I know Python, I know Ruby, I have done this, I've done that project, but you cannot show what you can do. You cannot convince us that you are a good fit for us, right? As a person, do you know about a company? Did you do some research? Did you tell us that, we came to your website and we love to work on this project? Maybe that project is not for you, but the fact that you did research shows us how interested you are in us. And that creates a bond. Okay. I'm open to questions after you speak, and we'll all answer questions. But I'm going to repeat a proverb that I heard, and it stayed with me for a long time. It's Maya Angelou. She says that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel. In an interview, we get that feeling. Okay? All right. All the best to you all. Thank you to ISC for organizing this.
Okay, I can just take it like this. Hello guys, so my name is Saurav. I don't think that most of you might not know me, but I am also a part of this degree. And the way that Puneet said about how you should actually do some research on the part of company, that is very true. Because current job market is changing a lot. Um, um, like I am not a very big fan of the traditional learning style where you just learn all the subjects and then you build something. Because of AI in the current job market, building is pretty easy. But keeping up with what you have built, how efficiently you can build something, how efficiently you can research something or experiment something, that that will be a very big leap in the future rather than the traditional study. Because whatever traditional studies we are doing in the college, I understand that those are the foundations, but with foundations, you also need to have some of your own, like curiosity to build something for the industry. You should try to find that maybe there is some kind of bottleneck which I can actually figure out from my own experience. You can experiment. The cost of experimentation in at least ML side has gone so low that experimentation cost, time taken, all those have come far, far down than before. Like I work in a AI company itself. We work on training, inference, and coding agent side. So earlier, when the GPT 4.0 came, uh, it was like we were using it just for basic data analysis. But soon, GPT 5.5 X-High came, Fable 5 came, which is banned by the way since yesterday. Okay. So since the time these products came, the cost of experimentation and the time taken by them and the output quality has increased by a far. So if you are just in your phase and you are just feeling insecure that I have to learn all the five things before applying for job, what I'll recommend is rather than learning all the five things, learn one thing, build something, and just go in the market. Whatever offer you get initially, I guess you should just accept it. Because as Lalit sir also said that initially you should your focus should be on getting a job rather than negotiating with some big company. After some time of experience and all the stuff that you'll do, for sure you'll get whatever value you are providing to the company. you will be on a very good place to negotiate with the company rather than in your initial years because you have not proven anything. All the projects which you build in college, those are very good. And MAD 1, MAD 2, um, those are pretty good. But the current standard of industry and the current job market, which I see from my perspective, is changing from the thinkers to the builders. The one who is just always thinking, he will still keep on thinking. But the one who is shipping really fast, who is going out in the domain, who is trying to go in production grade stuff at his own, because I don't know how many of you might have used AWS or something like that. The cost of hosting a website on AWS is $5 a month. Most of you might be spending more than that on a coffee. But so the friction in today's market is relatively low. And I guess that's it for now.
Open the floor for questions, comments.
We have got some questions consolidated. So that we'll answer.
Oops. Yeah, please go ahead. Right. Right. So this is something that, we actually emphasize as part of our activity points also. So, there are places like Lead Code, for example. If you go to Lead Code, there are a lot of these projects that are put up and, there's some competitive things also happening there. So you could start practicing with those sort of things. But from time to time, we also provide opportunities to engage in some projects that are posed by the industry and so on. So, you have anything?
Yes, sir. So from IIC side, what do we do? For data science side, we configure Kaggle competition for you. So one is in classification and one is in regression. So that we do from our side. For the software development side, what I encourage you that whatever you have done in your MAD 1 and MAD 2. So MAD 1 and MAD 2, if you see, it was the same project. Only the framework is started, changed from HTML to this Vue.js. Now, what you can do, you can take the same project and now build it with Fast API. So try to change the backend because Fast API is the one which is required. Vue.js is still relevant because in the real world now TypeScript is used, JavaScript is used. But if you have learned one script, for example, still Vue.js, you can use that. And you can keep on enhancing. So in our course also, see, every year we change the statement for MAD 1. Sometimes ticket system, sometimes parking system, sometimes hospitality system. So what you can do, you can take from there, build that. So, and build some real world project. There are many ideas which are available online. Okay, you can build an LMS using that. So, yeah, so that is as per the domain. Okay, okay. So in IIC, we emphasize, so when you do the registration, we ask you what is your domain, whether it is data science or software development. So you have to ask yourself that where I'm good in, what I'm good in. Second is I want to dispel that mindset that, sir, I want to be data scientist, so I don't need coding. I don't need DSA. In IT world, irrespective of your role, whether you are a cyber security guy, data scientist, machine learning, the first hiring round is through DSA because DSA is not coding. DSA is testing your logical thinking, how you bring a bigger problem into smaller problems and then you solve it. So DSA is must. I interacted with, on-campus students in February. I had a meeting with their placement cell just to know their processes. Okay, because the companies they come. So they told me, Bola, sir, before hiring for 6 months, we just do DSA. We don't do anything. Only DSA, DSA, DSA. Because the first hiring round by any company is through DSA. When you ask me, na, that sir, why we are not, why the companies like Amazon, Microsoft and all that. So if you want to get hired in those companies, and I mentioned one of our student has got placed in Google and one student has been hired by Amazon also. And their feedback was also DSA. So if you want to join these big companies, what he was mentioning was the startups where you have to be builders. If you're joining a startup, then you have to keep on iterating. You have to build, you have to be at very fast pace because those founders, they work at a very fast pace. But if you are thinking of your career in these FAANG companies, then the DSA is must. I hope I was able to answer your question. Have you done your software engineering project? Yes. So I'll tell you, in the current industry, now the lines are getting blurred between data scientist and software developer. Requirement now, a new word has come, which was not there in the industry earlier. They are calling it forward deployment engineer. And it is in huge demand. Forward deployment engineer is the one. So when I checked, so there was a Singapore-based company, JDs came to us, and they were saying forward deployment engineer. And in IT, we had never heard this term. So forward deployment engineer means that there is a real world problem. And now he tries to solve it using both software development also, data science also, and deployment also. And the beauty with our program is that all of us who are in degree level, we have got the capability in both domains. We know how to build an app also, how to integrate GenAI tools also, and we know the fundamentals of machine learning also. So these lines now, those conservative roles earlier that I'll be only machine learning engineer or I'll be doing only that, they are getting blurred because if you go to a startup, you'll be doing everything. You'll be performing role of 3 to 4 people in same go.
Unfortunately, I have a visitor who's waiting, so I need to leave now. But thank you for joining us today. You can stay back and Captain Lalit will answer more of your questions. But good luck with your rest of your program if you're still continuing. And I hope to see several of you part of IISc also. We can have more interactions. Thank you all. And rest of the Paradox, hope you enjoy that.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, please have a seat. We'll answer all your queries. So we have got a lot of questions. We have got a lot of time. If any other query from anyone? Yes, please. Be loud, slate. Okay. Not all companies, sometimes some requirement comes. So they clearly mention that we need CGPA above 8. Okay. But I will say that it is not even 10%. So it's not a common practice, but few companies, they mention CGPA. Okay. Yeah, please carry on. Thank you. Yes, please. Okay. Okay. Thanks for asking this. So our MLOps course is one of the best in the world. I can say with confidence. Why? Because I have done that course. And when I was doing that course, I tried to find like online resources that which could help me. And I couldn't find a better one. The reason is that this course is conducted by a senior industry professional who is an ex-IIT Madras alumni. And what he has covered, what he has compressed everything in this course, I'm telling you, it is not available anywhere. So what I suggest to you, either you can do that course, you're allowed, even after exiting also, you can still do courses, you can rejoin. Or if you're not able to do that, then the course content is available on YouTube. But apart from the YouTube material, the real hands-on practice is provided every week, because every week in MLOps, you're doing something. Okay, you're deploying your, and finally, when you do, I have placed around 6 to 7 students just on the basis of MLOps, because that is a current requirement. You're right in saying that. So now from DevOps deployment, we have got to MLOps. And I strongly recommend, if you have interacted with me, I always strongly recommend MLOps to all of you. Because with that skill, you can get a job. I can tell you. Any other question, please? Yeah, please. Okay, so we have got many opportunities. If you want to see, I can show you that data. A lot of remote opportunities, they also come, but they come 10K, 15K. Okay, so we offer those opportunities. There are many students who avail those opportunities, who cannot travel and who want to learn. Work from home, it depends on the company. We cannot do that. But present trend in the industry is like that. They are following now 2 days work from home, 3 days work from office. So majority of the companies, Cognizant, Accenture, or TCS and all that. So that. With working professional, I will share a trick of trade. Okay, many times when you have a break is considered very bad on your resume. So that time, what you can do, if you had a break, first of all, have genuine reasons. If that is genuine, they understand. But if it was due to something else, then what you can do, you can mention that, sir, I started one of my startup. I had my startup, sir, and then what they can ask you, what all you did and all that, so that you can say from your domain. So that is one thing which you can answer. They say, we have not heard of that startup. You say, sir, I tried everything, but I thought idea was good, but it could not work out. That is something which we can do. Yeah, we do that in IIC. If you give us the requirement that you see, I will like to share with all of you that last month we had our first international, placement. We placed 2 students in a Dubai-based company. They were Dubai-based. So many of you might be knowing that we have got presence in a lot of countries. We have got students in US, Canada, Malaysia, Singapore, and all that. So last month we had our first international placement from IIC side. We could place 2 students in Dubai, in a Dubai-based company. So if you give us the requirement that you have got requirement like this, we'll consider. So we keep on scanning. I tell you honestly, we might be sitting silently here. All of us, we know all the IC registered students, okay, by name. You might not be knowing us. We remember all the emails. We know what are your requirements, what you are doing. We are tracking your training. And believe me that it is a 24/7 job. Believe me, trust me. Yeah, please. Be loud. I understand. I understand. So if you remember, I had conducted your 101. I had given you some feedback also, honest feedback. Okay. You will get the opportunity, don't worry. But I will also strongly recommend, don't get disappointed. It is the phase of life. All of us, we have gone through this phase of life. But that time we have to remain positive. Okay, the negativity should not enter my mind. What I should be doing, I should be building. I should be preparing. Okay, all these skill sets which we discuss, communication. Think that after 1 week I'll be called for an interview. Am I ready? Okay. So what happens? We get 4 times the opportunities which we can place. So it is not that we had 200 opportunities and we could place 200 students. We had some 1,000 opportunities in last cycle. We could not do. So for that, we have to prepare ourselves. But I will strongly recommend to everyone, be positive, because a positive mindset and with a growth mindset, that I will learn. Okay, you send us an email. Again, we'll have your one-on-one. There are no dearth of opportunities, I can assure you. Okay? Yeah, please. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you the right time. I've understood. So we have made a policy. In fact, we have got a policy that we don't support the dual degree students. And what is the reason? So there are 2 reasons for that. Number one, that if you are doing a dual degree, already you have got a placement support from your college. Whereas our standalone students, we are the only ones. So that is the primary reason. Secondary reason is that in past, we brought some opportunities for dual degree students, but then they could not obtain NOC from their college. Now it reflected very, very negative because that NOC issue comes. So what you can do when you are in your last semester in your offline degree, then you can apply for with IISc so that at least this issue of NOC is sorted out. I personally spoke to one college in Dehradun. Okay, one of our student, we got him, and initially he had not disclosed that he's a dual degree. He got a good package. I personally spoke to the college management and they refused. And I felt so bad for him. I felt so that's separate that we wasted so much of energy and time. But then we learned our lesson that, this is the reason that when we say that we don't support dual degree, this is the primary reason. Because we do everything, we do the tie-up, get the opportunity, get the offer letter, but then this NOC issue. So if you want to register in the last semester. So that NOC issue is not there. Thank you. Yes, please. Shikhar. Okay, Deepshika. So what happens, due to the nature of our program, we have got around 15% of our students who are working professionals. Okay, from various domains. We have got teachers, we have got doctors, we have got architects, we have got chartered accountants. So many times when these opportunities they come, and I always tell clients, yesterday, in fact, to one of the client, I was saying that whatever the industry requirement is there, we can meet. Unlike an offline college where only the freshers are there, only from one domain. So here, opportunities, they come from all the domains because we have got students with those skill sets. And then what do we do in IISc? First, we ask ourselves that whether we can fulfill this opportunity from our pool. So with the IISc registered student. So if we can do that, we share only with the IISc registered student. But when we feel that no, we cannot, we don't have, these kind of candidates, then we post it in open pool. So many IISc registered students, they ask me, sir, I am registered with IISc, but why are you sending? Because we cannot match. So we are sending in the open pool also. Okay, so that is the reason. Yeah, placement side, there is a glitch. We are working on that. I'm having a lot of discussions. As I speak now, there are 2 guys who are working already. Because I'll tell you, all of us, we are software developers. The placement site was built by somebody with the backend PHP. Okay, PHP has become old fashioned. Now we are trying to build it, from scratch. And I will be taking help from our students also in that. Okay, we'll build it. So, any other question? Okay, be positive. First of all, I want to dispel that due to the AI, the jobs are not there. There are enough jobs for you. We have got data. You have seen the data. Okay, enough jobs are there, enough opportunities are there, and you are the best people now for hiring. Okay, because you know the software development side also, you know the ML side also, you know the AI side also, and those who have completed the degree or who are in the final phase, you know how to download the models, how to fine tune the models, and how to use them for the real world case. So you have got all the necessary skill sets. Only you need to revise them. And again, you have to see, our skills are real hands-on skills. Our skills are not theoretical skills. So we have to have those real hands-on skills. So some new thing has come, I have to build some project. I have to practice that. Because, they will select me also in the interview also, they will ask me all technical questions. They will ask me, how will you do this? Okay, this is a real world problem. Tell me the table schema. What is the ER diagram for this? So all of them, they are the hands-on questions. So again, go back to your projects and keep on working, keep on working. Yeah. Anything from you want to ask? Please keep on.
So I had a lot of time, I maintained very both ways, offline and virtual. But after the things were normal, I not balance both, and I kind of overestimated what it, and both the passion, then I focused on the offline and managed the recent 7.5 completed. Now this term I will be completing both the exams, and I registered with IIT. But I didn't done last one-on-one session was with you. But even though things are getting better than last year, the confidence I had earlier, and how do I get back the level of confidence?
Yeah, I understand. I understand. So see, confidence will always come. I'll give you an example. Today, one topic is given to you and you're not aware about that, and you are asked to present a presentation on that, 10 slides. You'll be nervous. Okay, confidence level 0. But when you will start working, tomorrow I'll go prepare my notes, and when I'll work for 1 week and practice, then I'll be super confident. So to gain that confidence back, it will not happen overnight, but it will happen through consistency, and you yourself, you'll become confident. For example, if you're going for an interview, during 101s, I'm telling you, I've got this experience. Many students, they just come with the confidence. They say, okay, sir, I did this course. I ask them, did you revise? No, sir. Then they cannot ask basic questions also, I'm telling you. I ask most basic questions. Tell me the meaning of IQR, the most basic question. So when you do the revision, then you'll be confident. Okay, so that old story, na, tortoise and rabbit. So tortoise always, it wins the race. Be steady, be disciplined, keep on doing. Okay, thank you. Anything else? The best part, you are the best judge of your resume. No other person will be the best judge. And how you can judge your resume, ask yourself, whatever I'm writing here, am I confident of this? Have I done this? Okay. Is it true reflection of mine? If I write in my resume that I was a senior program manager, can I justify that with some experience? Because on your resume is never generic. On resume, it has to be supported by some evidence. You have to write, I built a software development app or this web application for ticket booking using Flask and Vue.js. If you have written this statement, then you have to ask yourself whether, if I'm asked these questions, use the AI tools for this. You feed this to AI tool that this is my resume. Give me 200 questions which can be asked on this resume. And then ask yourself whether I am able to answer these 200 questions. I hope I've answered. I made sense. Because we can write anything in resume, but be ready to answer on that. See, there is a difference. Earlier, there used to be a graduate degree, BSc, BCom. And those degrees used to be like for government jobs that you have to be a graduate. But nothing used to come from that degree. After that, the aptitude test used to be there. But there was nothing from that degree. Like I did my physics honors from DU. But when I joined Air Force, there was not a single question on physics from that. So that is the difference between that degree and this degree. Here, wherever you will go, every question will come from here. Every question. There is no topic. Yesterday, I and Punitji we were discussing and I had forgotten. So Punitji told me, it was covered in our course. So everything is covered in our course. You just have to open that. Maintain a notebook. You know, there is one ability that if there is a topic, for example, there is a topic logistic regression model. You should be able to write a 2-page note of that. So that when you revise, quickly you can revise. What is logistic regression model? It is this, it is this, it is this. What are the hyperparameters? So not 2-page. And you should have that notebook and keep on revising that. Okay. Yes, we do. We have got communication workshops, we have got professional emails, resume, all those things are there. Okay. English team conducts that and we share those details with you. So whenever such email comes to you, please attend those workshops, utilize them. Yeah. There is another thing in our program when I said we have got 15% professional, 15% working professional, please use them. Build your networks, they are there. I had never seen, in last years that if there is any problem which a student has posted and somebody has not offered a solution, they might be silent there. Build network with them. They are working in big companies. Through them, you can get hired. If they can give your referrals, okay, connect with them. Whatever your problems are there, you can discuss with them. Like we we build relationships during our offline courses, friendships, which last throughout your life. Build those relationships there. Build those friendships. Study together. Okay, discuss your problems. They will help you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've got it. Very nice question. So from IC side, what we do, you register, you complete your training, you become eligible. After that, you are eligible for 1 year support from IC. For next 1 year, you will be eligible for support. For people who have exited from the course and they completed their training, they are eligible till the time they can maintain their student email ID, which is 1 year after you exit. So if I exit today and if it is cleared, still I'll be able to use my student email ID for 1 year. So till that time, I'm eligible. Okay, thank you so much. Give a huge smile. Don't look gloomy. Okay, things are not bad if we put in our efforts. So remember all these students who are there, around 1,200 students, they were from this program. If they have got placed, then you also can be placed. Okay, they put in, and there is no Herculean effort needed for this. We just have to go back to our notes, have a smile, be positive, follow the path. And if you're serious about getting a job, then you have to put in your first step. We are there to help you. Okay, you can call us anytime, ask us any question, and we will guide you how to approach that problem. Thank you. Wish you all the very best. Do well. Bye-bye.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Okay, is my screen visible? Excellent. Is my screen visible? Okay. So,
Hello.
okay. So this is more like a tech talk about what all advancements are happening in the current space of AI. How many of you have heard about coding agents like Claude Code, GitHub Copilot? You all are using it in your daily workflows. So what's the number one issue which you think that you are facing? Is it like the limits are hitting pretty fast? And anyone who would like to answer? Okay. Tokens usage. Okay. So I don't know that how many of you know about harness. So whenever you give your agent a specific set of tools to work with and a specific set of instructions and a specific environment, that is called a harness in very basic terms. So harness is just a, it's like, it can be in any form. It can be in web form. It can be in mobile apps. For example, Codex Mobile just came out few days ago. Codex CLI was already there. So it can be in many form. So today's session is all about what a harness actually is how it works internally, on what problem me with my some of the colleagues are working right now, and how we are approaching that. So it will be just a simple discussion for around 20-30 minutes. Okay. So this is a basic slide about what a harness actually does. Whenever you type in that you want to get some work done, so what was the earlier ways of working with AI? You used to open chatgpt.com. Ah, sure, sure, sure. So you just open chatgpt.com, you just go and paste all your code. It doesn't have access to the whole repository. So by having harness running on your system, you are actually giving a specific part access to the system. And based on that, it can read your files, configure your files. So in harness, there are two modes. How many of you know about plan and build mode? Okay. So basically what the first step that you try to do is, you first of all, whenever you open a Claude Code or something like that, you just press Shift Tab on the most scenarios, and it will go in a plan mode where you will just discuss what's your problem actually is, and it will share you one, what do you call it, prototype of solution on which you can iterate with it. And the best practice which is currently in the industry is to always go in plan mode and work in the plan mode itself. And after you are pretty much clear about the solution, you know that the solution is optimal for you. And sometimes it will give you overkill solutions as well. In many cases, you might not need to use a load balancer, but it will tell you to use the load balancer and stuff. So the harness work is basically, it can read your context. It can call a tool. Tool can be anything. It can call even a web search is a tool, and it can read your files. It can edit your files. Whatever stuff a harness does, all of that is manipulated via the tools of which it access it's given to. Okay, it will call a tool. It will observe, and it will just work in loop until your work is done. So the main problem which is currently in this industry right now, that every model call, every tool call comes at a cost. And the costs are increasing day by day of the, at least the top frontier models. For example, ChatGPT 5.5 currently costs $5 for input and $30 for output. And Fable, I guess, which was released yesterday, that cost $10 for input and $50 for output per million tokens. In case you don't know how many tokens generally make, uh, there is an average rule that 4 characters are considered as one token. That depends company to company on how they have prepared their tokenizers and stuff. Okay. So there is also one thing called latency. If you just want ki just go and change my file name, you don't want ki jo sabse bada model hai, which is, let's say ki you are using Claude Code and by default your model is set to Opus. You would not want to waste Opus tokens because Opus tokens come at a very higher cost as compared to, let's say, for a menial task you will use Haiku, which will cost you just $1 for input and $5 for output. And each and every task for a normal user who have not experienced a lot working with different models, it doesn't actually make sense for them if they go and try each and every model. So in that case, what our company is trying to do is, we have a LLM. LLM is a pretty big model. It can be around 1 trillion or something like that. And we also have a SLM. So I'll tell you more details on that in the later slides. Okay. So LibUp agent is also like a normal of your Claude Code. It is a TUI friendly terminal. You have two modes. One is build, one is plan. The delegation by design means that there are multiple sub agents which will do some part of your work. For example, in case you want to edit something, in case you want to do some deep stuff. So most of the part, what we are trying to do is, we are currently focusing on solving the cost problem for LLMs. And when you solve the cost, you also solve the latency at the same time in LLMs. For example, if you are hosting a 30B model on a consumer grade GPU that is feasible in today's world because of 5090, but you can't host a pretty big model on a consumer grade GPU because you need to offload some of its weight into RAM, SSD based on whatever infrastructure you have. So what we are trying to do is uh, you type your task in the terminal. Our main model, which is a LLM, it will decide what all stuff you have to do there, and it will break down your task into multiple sub-agents. So multiple sub-agents, there can be a general sub-agent, an explore sub-agent, a review sub-agent. So first of all, it will try to decide which sub-agent to call for which task. So if you'll see in the long run, most of your work will get done at a fraction of cost. I have done an experiment. I was in CRC 101, I guess, yesterday, and there were some slides on agentic systems. I have benchmarked our product on the same thing. So we use the root LLM for the deep reasoning part, wherever you need to do a lot of deep thinking and stuff. The main model will think for you. It's just like a computer architect thinks for a software engineer, but the end work is to be done by the software engineer himself. So in our case, the software engineer is a small language model, and the architect is a large language model who can guide multiple software developers to do whatever work is assigned to them. So the payoff is that heavyweights reasoning stays available for hard calls. Smaller worker can handle bounded tasks. So with this comes two benefits. You are reducing your latency, you are reducing your costs, and you are also um, reducing your time overall to solve the same problem, which would have taken, let's say, 5 minutes. You can now do it in 2 minutes because the consumer grade GPUs are pretty efficient right now. Okay, so there are some more things which we have added. One is memory and context management. So you might have seen that after you start a Claude Code session and when you go back to the next Claude Code session, in most of the cases, it forgets what was the work which was being done yesterday or maybe 2 days after, or you have just hit your context window and it just goes in auto compat mode. In case you don't know auto compat, in auto compat, what happens is uh, there is one specific threshold. For example, it depends model to model, by the way, but for example, if you have a model which is of 200K context length, around 160 to 168K, the model will go in auto compat mode. It will generate a summary of all the 168K token works it have done, and it will just start working from there. So the problem that comes here is you have lost a lot of context in between. There might be some minute points that you just lost in between. So how we are trying to solve this problem is whenever a user started working on a specific project, we create a markdown memory. It is in many forms. We store it in user.md, project.md, rules.md. So whenever you, for example, as of now, you might have heard of Hermes agent. So Hermes agent is known for its personalization and stuff. So if you are on the day one, if you told it ki my name is X, so even if you ask it after 10 days, it will still know your name. So each and every coding model, whichever lives in your terminal and stores the data in your system, it works with .md files. It just have a fixed hierarchy of which MD files to load. You can even load your own files. Those are called skills by means. And the skills thing was introduced by, I guess, Anthropic back in December 2025, if I'm not wrong. So we have also figured that out, that how will you actually keep your memory persistent when you come back to a session after X days. You are not wasting your tokens on the stuff which you have already done. So that is also one part of our product. Okay, so we have 3-4 permission modules. So permission modules are in Codex, when you work, there are 2 or 3 modules by default. One is that where you actually approve each and everything. You approve each and every read task. You approve each and every write task. You are doing auto approvals on your own. You press either you want to allow once or allow always. And then there is one new mode, which is auto mode. In that, what they do is, based on my understanding, they have a SLM, which actually checks whether the command which the main agent is asking, is it safe for you or not. For example, if you are asking it to do RM minus RF, or it is doing RM minus RF after a long running session and you have not told it, so it won't do without asking you. So that's how auto mode works. In auto mode, 90% says of the small model, but wherever it will be uncertain, it will come back to you. And then there is one new mode called dangerously skip. In that, you are no longer in charge. You have given the full access to your system to the coding agent, which, by the way, in current scenario, you can trust it on that. But for production, I'll not recommend it. Maybe if you are working in a very small sandbox environment, you can actually work towards this and you can get the work done. So these are all the types of approvals that each and every coding agents have, and we also have the same. So what the agent actually can do, it can write and complete code for you. It can refactor and fix the bugs for you. It can explain and document it using the plan mode. In case you go to plan mode, the plan mode is by default read only. So if you want to go over a very long horizon of discussion with someone, and you want someone just explains me what happening there, you generally go to plan mode and you ask stuff, you discuss with the model whatever you want to integrate in the future, you do that part. And also you can just generate tests in today's scenario, because today the development has become so fast that a team of 4 to 5 members can ship a product. And I'm not sure about generating revenue, but they can ship a product which was not feasible earlier for around 6 months or something like that. So the cost of verification have increased, but the cost of writing code has decreased a lot, because how LLMs work is they do some pattern matching based on whatever training data they have taken inside. And the coding part is pretty much deterministic. You know that after def, you have to put a function name, then a colon, and all these things. So these things are consistent for everything. So LLMs have learned the pattern. In most of the scenarios, LLM can write better code than most of the humans in today's date. So the shift as a student in your current phase should be that you are understanding the architecture on which the LLM will write code. You should understand that in case you have a website which is going to attract 1 million users, how will you actually decide that how much RAM you need, whether you need to use a load balancer, and all these kind of stuff which comes with system designs. For system designs, there's one book as well. It comes by O'Reilly. It is a very famous book, which I'll highly recommend that in today's world, you should actually, in case you are not too good with coding, maybe if you just pass the coding interview, after that, in most of the startups at least, you are not going to be writing any piece of code from hand. In our own company, we have not written, I guess, a single line of code from past 8 months. We are always using agents. We have defined the loops, how the agent will work, after which step, what needs to be done. So you should, in today's world, your focus should be that how you can use the maximum of your model, and how can you actually understand that. So the core finding here is that you should have a system level understanding rather than that how this code is working. That is one part of your job. But if you know the system level understanding, the coding part is mostly solved. You are not going to generate some very random code. It will always follow the same syntax. The idea may change of how the code is written and stuff, but the systems part is still pretty much unsolved, and there is a very high demand for systems engineer. Like even in AI ML side, um, how many of you knew about for loading a 30B model, how much VRAM you require? Okay, so 60 is a good number. So his number is accurate, but that is in context to BF16. So there are 3 data types. And when you are optimizing, you optimize it the way ki BF16 takes the most memory. It has the most precision as well. But there is one mode called FP8. FP8 will halve the memory taken. And when it will halve the memory taken, based on the experiments which have been done in the industry, they have not seen much loss. And recently there is one more data type which is getting very famous, especially for pretty big models which are in 1 trillion and something like that. They are using INT4, FP4. Even NVIDIA, when they launched their Blackwell series, which is the latest generation of GPUs by them, they have launched, I guess, NVFP4, which is highly optimized for their GPUs. And it works at the kernel level very well. So we are not going to much deep dive on that. So the basic idea is if you are loading a 30 billion model and you have BF16, you will require 60 GB of RAM. In FP8, it will get half to 30. And in FP4, it will get even half further. So cause of that, now you can load a 30B model on a 5090 as well, which comes with 32 GB of RAM. So, but still that's quite a cost. So I'll tell the solution of that as well. Okay. So how we are actually trying to solve the problem. LiveUp is a terminal first user experience. We focus more on the terminal because as a developer, you're mostly working in a terminal. So you can just type LiveUp in your terminal and it will start working. You have already had, as I mentioned, you have 2 modes. One is for building, one is for planning. There are a lot of context guardrails for your memory, your compaction. For safe execution also, we have all these different kind of modes for permission where you are in charge. In evidence loops, you can always see that what the model got the input, what the model gave the output. And so now as a user, in today's world, you generally give a very long enough task to an LLM and you actually can't just sit there in front of the screen and keep on working. So you just tend to give some task to an LLM. Maybe either you go do some task B or you just go out and have chill for some time and then you come back and you verify the LLM's output. So this was the live cost comparison, which was done yesterday. So Codex with GPT 5.5 took $4.88. Claude Code with Sonnet took $2.19. But our own agent LiveUp just did the same work with the same output in just 44 cents. So that is a very big win in terms of cost savings and the promise which we are working on right now. And so these are the 5 ideas that you need to take with you, that the agent needs to work in a loop to actually give you some really good outputs. It needs to see its own output, whatever tool call it made, what was the output that came from there. It will debug on its own. Then what we are doing is we are trying to delegate some stuff. We call small language models for some basic stuffs. We call the large language models for some really complicated stuffs. We have a context management system. We have engineered it for safety. And we have also provided basic evidences. We also ran it on some benchmarks, but running on benchmarks seems rigged for at least students to tell because they don't have much exposure to the benchmark. So the pricing might have felt out of context. So the numbers which are here, it was from the yesterday session where we were doing 4 agentic problems and all those 4 were not decided from beforehand to just show the cost savings. So these were the tasks which most of you will be doing in your job. You will be creating a web app, you will be doing data cleaning, Mostly you will be doing this stuff. You are not going to build on a daily basis. Mostly you will be debugging something, or you might be thinking of some solution. So the core thing which comes right now is just how you think about the problem rather than how you are actually thinking about code. You should just have a very clear roadmap in mind that when you have learned about if else statements, you might have seen that after I do this, in case this doesn't happen, this should happen. So in LLMs also does some mistake along the way. They'll fail on a specific way. And most of the LLMs, they forgot that this was the method on which they failed. But there is a very high chance that if it knows that this method didn't work for me, it will for sure try to take another path. So most of the coding agents right now doesn't have this by default. So we are trying to solve a lot of problems in this side. We are also working on training and inference side, but this was more about how we are working as a team for a coding agent. So currently it is in alpha testing, and um, I would like to ask all of you to just join the waitlist. So whenever this comes, mostly we have not thought about the pricing and stuff yet. So I can't disclose much on that as of now, but it will be really helpful from your side that if you just join the waitlist, and whenever the product comes out, you give us feedbacks on how we can improve and what all stuff we can do to make it even better, what as a user you would like, where you think that the coding agent is lacking. Because in most of the scenarios, you might think that when we are saving costs, we are compromising with the output quality. But that's not the case. At least the yesterday experiment which I did, all the outputs were exactly same. Just there was some UI difference, which is fine. Every model has its own distribution. So UI will remain different. But the quality of output, the output which you were expecting, the output was exactly the same. So this is it from my side. Sorry, my side. Any questions? You can ask me any question related to anything in case you have. That website is not working. Uh, there might be some network issues over here. So any questions as such? I'll even look into this in case it's not working for you. I'll check the AWS and I'll update you guys on that as well. So any question? Okay. You can ask an off-topic question. So I work in a startup. In startup, you work on everything. I'm an AI engineer, I'm a software developer, I I am an ML ops engineer. I work on each and everything. In startups, you don't have a niche to choose stuff from. You just work on whatever opportunity comes at you. You just try to give your best and you work for that. What? What skills? Okay. What is skills or? Okay, so you are asking that what skills should a fresher have? Okay, so in the current job market, I don't have much ideas about MNCs because um, I have my own reasons which I would not like to disclose here. So in startups, generally how we hire is we take an interview. In interview, we will ask you some basic questions. We don't go hardcore on anything. If you are just applying as an intern, and we see hands-on experience. If you have already worked on some coding agents and and you have made some projects on your own, you know the stack. So the way hiring is changing right now, it is like you don't need to know much about DSA, at least for startups. You should have a lot of system designs knowledge. How will you build a scalable system? And you should be open to learn on each and every day. And startup life will feel hectic, and at least for maybe 1 year when you are just accommodating yourself in the company. That's not the case for MNCs. MNCs spend way too much time to teach you stuff. In startups, mostly you are working on your own. So that's the reason that startups generally prefer the one who have already did some work and they have already solved some level of complex problems themselves. Any other question? Okay, cool then. I guess that's it from my side. Thank you guys for joining. Okay. Chalo. Okay, bye bye guys. See you later.